our job is to make it even more beautiful. When Hashem created Adam and Chava, He appointed them as gardeners. Gardeners in where? In Gan Eden. Gan Eden is a beautiful place. But the job of a gardener is to improve the garden and make it even nicer. This process of improving and making the world nicer is through a process of birurim. Birurim means the process of clarification, of purification and clarification. There has to be a separation between that which can receive godliness and can integrate godliness and can become a conduit and conveyor of the divine, and that which rejects the divine, that which is shells, external, and therefore cannot absorb, contain, and express divinity. So the way the process worked is as follows. The power of purifying and separating is the power of Chachma. Because as we know, Kabbalah says, we say Chachma is berido. That later translates into the Torah, which we apply the Torah to the world to do this act of separation. The power of Chachma, which clarifies, which separates the good from the bad, first is applied to the highest level of existence. And what it does is it attracts those particles, so to speak, of this substance that needs to be purified, which is really the substance of the cosmos, but it attracts the most subtle, the highest, that which has the highest potential to being completely expressive of the divine. And that's what becomes the materials of the world of Atzilus. The energy of Chachma absorbed the materials of and created Atzilus, so to speak, or brought about the world of Atzilus through that process. Whatever did not fit into that high grade, let's call it grade A for Atzilus, grade A of bittul and of transparency, wasn't disqualified completely, but it was transferred to a lower state of existence, which is Olam Habriya. And then the power of Chachma was reapplied to Olam Habriya, to the world of Briya, and it attracted that which is ready for bittul, maybe not the level of complete abnegation, surrender, and unification and with the Orein Sof. Then it would have been qualified to the bittul of Atzilus, so it's the grade B bittul. That too can facilitate and host the divine. And that becomes the Gan Eden of the world of Briya. Whatever does not fit into it, so one of the two things. Either it goes into the external elements of Olam Habriya, and it's not considered the Tov, it's considered the Ra, the bad of Olam Habriya, because it's not in a state of bittul, and it becomes what we call negative malachim, roim, and so malachei Kabbalah, obviously on still a very subtle level, because it's an Olam Habriya. But then there is the materials itself that get a third chance of clarification. That third chance happens in Olam HaYetzirah. Whatever is Chachma, the Torah, can absorb and elevate and purify, is rectified and included in Olam HaYetzirah, which is a third level of bittul, and whatever can't fit in it gets rejected and becomes the external part of that world, including on the most external, including the Ra, the evil of that level. And then finally, we drop into Olam Asiyah, which is our world, and that's where these Birurim happen from above prior to human existence, some point in the process of creation. But from when Adam was created, he was given the task to do the last Birur through Torah. Now, what we do is, whatever we can use Al-Pi Torah to facilitate a godly way of life, a godly existence, becomes a facilitator and a channel and a conduit and a recipient of this godliness, and that becomes part of the world that's going to be in Mashiach's world, the Gan Eden of this world, when the whole world will be Gan Eden. Whatever is extra and excessive and can't fit in gets rejected outside, and that's the leftover dregs and schmutz, which at this point in the world we can see the separation and the differentiation very strongly manifesting.